Kara858, and we're here for our brand new campaign, Reclamation Season 1, Episode 16. We're glad to have you with us as we continue the story of House Chiron. We're going to jump into the session, but first let's introduce our cast, have them say who they are, who they're playing, and what projects we're working on. And I think since it's been a while, well, been a minute for us, for you, we haven't seen anything just yet, is Aries. We'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing in projects.
Alrighty, hey folks, I'm Adrian, or Aries, and I am playing Jethrin Cloudpour, everybody's favorite Leonin Paladin. And yeah, you can find me here on the Cookout playing a couple of things, and also over at the Bear Pen, where I'm a storyteller and a player of a couple of projects. And if you want to check out my socials, you can go to Twitter at the Adrian Bear.
Perfect. Next, we have the wonderful Ree. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hello everyone, I am at Big Dude Ree on Twitter and all the other socials, so feel free to give me a follow there to see all the cool stuff I am up to. But tonight I will be playing Kashad, the leader of this wonderful noble house who's trying to guide these people into making wise, reasonable and honorable decisions. We'll see how well that goes for us. I'm also the DM and storyteller over for the Rerolls Twitch channel, where we are doing a number of super interesting games you should all check out because they're doing great. And yeah, that's everything really.
All right. Next, we have the wonderful Ari. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hi, I'm Ari. I play the world's most stubborn wizard, and if you can find me at Small Shadow Snack on Twitter, which is all of my projects in the abundance of possum photos that I have collected on my phone. Are there over 1,000? Possibly.
Wow. Even that I was unaware of. Okay, prepared to the day. Next up, we have our wonderful DM, Fell Flames. Okay, exactly like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Naturally. So, as always, my name is Aries. You can find me often here and over on the Bear Pen. Definitely check out my stuff. It's super awesome.
Perfect. Next, we have the wonderful Di. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Yes, hi, I'm Di. You can find me over on Twitter at DiChromaniac. Tonight I'm playing Marovna. She is just, the middle sister, and she's really just trying her best. And, there might be some chaos. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
I'm here for that chaos. I'm definitely here for that chaos. And of course, we have the wonderful Red. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hi, I'm Red. My social media is a series of question marks. My projects is cosplaying a functional adult, and I'm playing Timmons, the best butler.
Cosplay. I love to put that on my resume.
The way I hear is spit hot coffee.
Yeah, I was ready for it. I was like, oh, we're about to get a front row seat 3D effect here, right? On the stream. As for yours truly, I am Kara858. I play the lovable, sweet being Abrea, who's been learning a lot the past couple episodes, that's for sure. Of course, you can find all of our content listed here at YouTube, as well as our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Kara858. Like I said, you just keep an eye out for all of our content for TTRPG related goodness on our Twitter, which is at the Kara858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and transition to our wonderful DM, Zach. Zach, take it away. You're muted.
At the expense of being forced to admit that I am not, in fact, wonderful, let's get into this game. Last we left off, you all were making your way to August Cave because you have been joined by Shay, as well as Shay's mother, and Shay's mother has requested a meeting with Aga. For my records, I think everyone was going along. Is there anyone who ended up deciding to stay behind?
I don't believe Jethrin went with, no.
Oh,
You stay behind to speak with the soldiers.
Yeah, unless I was specifically requested to come with, Jethrin would have stayed behind. So it's up to the house, really. If Abrea's going, then Jethrin's going. That's just the way it goes. But otherwise, no.
Yeah, Abrea would definitely be going. I mean, anytime they get a chance to be able to see Olga, they'll take the opportunity. More golden flowers.
Olga's a friend.
Yeah. So everyone is together, and you find yourself at the entrance to her cave.
Would you be able to greet Olga for us?
Of course. 1 moment, please. And I'll walk into Olga's cave and look to make sure that she's there, for one.
Okay, so you're walking in by yourself?
Yes.
Okie
Unless anyone's ignoring me,
see-
in which case I am not.
You see Aga sitting in her cave just as you expected. As you come in, she goes, hello. And then in the sort of guttural common, Timmons.
Hello, Olga. Surprise. I am back quickly. So here's
Yes,
the thing.
hello.
I have a person who would like to meet you.
Timmons brings many people to meet Aga last time.
True. This is one more.
She kind of like
But
wiggles
if you
her
want-
fingers a bit.
I will just say that you don't want to see anybody, and it'll be fine.
She like wiggles her fingers a bit and goes, okay, bring new person.
Okay. But you. Okay. I'll be right back.
Roll me an insight check.
Ooh, my favorite type of check. You get insight.
Some spell chunk. The ultimate magic. People magic.
Only a 14.
Okay.
Some of the lowest I can roll.
Oh, wow.
All right. So yeah. So I'll go back outside and be like, all right, well, Olga says that she will meet with you. Do be polite.
Go on your best behavior.
Everybody comes inside.
Mhm.
It is up on roll 20 if you all would like to move your tokens yourself. But
Perfect. And also, so wait, what? Okay, so I'm guessing that creature is Olga. It's not really
yeah, that's Aga.
okay.
I just use that token.
Perfect. So when Obrea gets closer inside, the gold leaf begins to glow a little bit. Just a little bit of flash within their hair. And with that, they start to, I think, pick up things a bit easier as they cast comprehend languages to understand what's being said.
Oh, also, just for your guys' benefit, that's Shay's mom.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that is awesome.
I don't want
All right,
to.
she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. She has escalated about two points in my book.
She's escalated in someone that I do not trust.
Absolutely untrustworthy.
Boom.
I suppose I can make some introductions. Aga, this is has Lorna Strode given us her name, or is that just something that I, as a player, know?
She did.
She did, right?
I think so.
I think so. All right, so I'd be like, well, this is Ms. Lorna Strode. Ms. Strode, this is Aga.
Aga is like currently in the process of stirring a pot a little bit, and she speaks and says, "Bring new friend to Aga. Introduce self." And she kind of like waves her hand like she's shaking it.
Oh, well, Ms. Strode, it seems that I would like to make introductions rather personally, if you'll step forward.
Okay. She kind of stops there, but Aga gets up and moves and walks the rest of the way. And as she does that, she takes Shay's mom's smaller hand into her hand, and you can see she's saying something, but at like a lower tone and speaking in giant.
Oh, what is she saying by chance?
Roll me a perception check if you're trying to listen in.
I am going to cast Detect Thoughts with sorcery points.
25.
11.
As a arcane spellcaster that's been known to activate a spell or two, you recognize that this is Aga casting some sort of spell that you can't recognize. Kashad. You're casting while utilizing sorcery points. Remind me what effect that has.
In this case, for my psionic spells, they do not require verbal or somatic components, nor do they require material components unless they are consumed by the spell.
So the thoughts that you hear on the surface level are: take hold of her hands, grab the hands. And you see Aga gingerly reaches out to grab the other hand. But Shay's mom becomes spooked and goes to pull her hand back. And Aga reaches out and grapples it. And you all watch as spring to life are handcuffs made of a red energy that sweep around Shay's mom's hands. And you see her start to
My counterspell?
try to physically force against them. You may not, because you were in the process of casting Detect Thoughts when this happened.
Yeah, you.
Well, that seems a bit.
Well, Counterspell is technically a reaction. So,
Is
let me think about this for a second. No, I think that's fair play. You can cast it, but you're going to need to roll.
at a higher level. I'm not good. I actually think I am good at this. 14 plus. It's spellcasting ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, it's charisma. So 19 total.
That is enough to stop any spell that is within the normal 9 circles. However, that is obviously going to be enough here. As the handcuffs start to form their way into existence, Kshad, realizing that something is up, fires a blast of energy that no one can even see with his mind, speaking aloud, and that psionic blast ruptures the handcuffs at a critical point where they're starting to form, and the red energy dissipates and falls apart. Aga turns to look at Kashad and snarls. Roll initiative.
Uh-oh.
Why can't we just have friends, Dungeon Master?
All of us?
I mean,
15.
anyone who intends to get involved in the situation should go ahead and roll.
If I see Kashad doing something, even if I can't
used
see the energy
digital.
bolt,
17.
I absolutely would come to Kashad's defense. I rolled a 6.
Yeah, because he, I'm pretty sure counterspell requires a verbal and somatic component, so you would still
Yes,
see.
I did not use the thingy to get rid of any of it, so that one's visible.
Wow, we have some top tier initiative rolls here.
I mean, I think that it is narratively appropriate.
Oh, no, great.
You know, we didn't know things are going on. From my vantage point, I couldn't even see the handcuffs. I just saw Kashad attack Uga for no reason.
Oh yeah.
Just from my brief glance, was Olga's thought pattern normal, or did it seem like someone was commanding it? Just from that brief look-see.
Roll me a charisma check. And everyone go ahead and enter in your initiatives if you have not yet, please.
Sorry.
24 on a charisma check. I'm on fire tonight.
It was not August thought pattern.
That's good.
At all. Not like August thought pattern, but being controlled. It is not Aga. Or at least not her thought pattern.
Okay, well now I feel way less bad about this.
I will end anyone who hurts Uga.
Right. Okay, I'll put my eyes in chat. Oh, where's no name yet?
We have a man-sized dinosaur on our team.
So
Would
How
they
about that?
would they be unavailable for here?
So I think no name yet no longer fits into this cave. But let me check that really quick.
Oh, we can't put it in the thingy.
Wait, no name. I thought no name yet was a large creature, right? Or are they huge?
I thought I said that no name yet was huge now, but I'm checking the stat block we made.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, well, if Olga joins our party, we will have a crazy-looking group of people for any situation.
We are gonna walk back into Darkstar, and it's gonna be amazing. They're gonna make us the rulers. They're gonna be like, nope, you're in charge now.
Giants and
No name yet is large.
Yes, large.
So
Yes.
Giants and dinos and wargs. Oh my!
oh my.
did we have a token for that?
No, because they were a baby before, so we make sure that they couldn't fight. They stayed out of harm's way.
I mean, you already have Timon's undying loyalty. If Uga joins our party, I don't know what else I can give you, but you will be yours.
You have my blade and my axe and my giant.
And my giant.
Sorry. Entertain the people for a moment while I.
Oh,
Look,
yeah, this is happening.
I confess
Oh,
that is one
sure.
thing I did not think about.
No worries.
Find a diner lie
Follow
somewhere.
to everyone.
Put onto the screen.
So the only person that knows that this isn't Olga right now is
Kashad.
Kashad. Would he be able to say that out loud as a free action?
You could definitely be suspicious yourself that this is not Aga, because you passed your perception check.
Okay.
It's up to you what Abrea might think in this circumstance.
They would be definitely confused, but yeah.
Indeed.
I think unless Kashad confirms it, Abrea is going to go to in the Star Trek versions stun mode instead of kill. Because they still think that it is like something's really weird going on, but maybe it's like mind control. That's what they're thinking.
Well,
I think
either
Tim
way,
is unsure
something-
if Kashan targeted Uga or Shay's mom.
Say that again?
I think Timmons is not sure if Kashad just targeted Uga or just targeted Shay's mom, because it went to the middle of them, and we didn't see anyone casting, right?
No, you would have saw the act of casting the spell. So
Timmons
you
would.
know what
Timmons
counterspell looks like, but no.
So Timmons saw you cast counterspell. She did not see Aga casting the spell because she was intentionally kind of trying to reach down and see it a bit. The only people that noticed were Abrea and Kashad, which makes sense based on the sight angles on the maps. You guys are offset from straight on a little bit. Okay, let me actually give you control of this.
Okay.
Yes, give us all the control.
Living every teenage boy's dream, or just teenager's dream in general, of having a dinosaur. At the moment.
I am 36 years old and I want a dinosaur. Like,
Who doesn't want a happy diner pal?
right?
D&D came in clutch with the Unearthed Arcana, that's for sure.
Happy
and
diner
of course,
pal.
and of course, Zach giving me this beautiful creature.
Okay. Abrea, you are first.
I'm first? Oh, I was not ready for that.
What is Kashad's dex? Probably higher than mine, right?
My dex is 2 plus 2.
Yeah, I got +0, so yeah.
So it'll be very interesting. So Abrea looks very confusingly at the creature in front of them, and they don't really understand what is taking place because they still think it's Olga, but perhaps she's mind control. So I think it's subconsciously they go into a protective mode versus an attack mode, and the gold leaf starts to light up a little bit behind their ear, and you see this cold frost just starts to wrap around them as they cast Armor of Agathis to give themselves HP.
Okay. Kashad.
Shad is gonna decide not to hurt Shay's mom for some reason. So he's gonna go over here-ish. Here-ish. And then he will hold his hand, and a line of mouths will erupt from his shadow, and he is going to use what I'm calling Whales of the Forgotten now. But using his Mind Blast, I have to make intelligence save. And I'm going to use three points to give them disadvantage on the save.
Wow.
So I have a heightened spell.
I haven't seen that used much.
Who are you targeting? Both of them?
Olga, no, I'm not going to blow up Shay's mom.
This is fixing to be PvP real quick.
Shay's mom is
I'm not blowing up
gone.
Shay's mom. Shay's mom can get hit next time though if there's an issue.
There's enough sorcery points for everyone.
That's the type of thinking.
For everybody.
That's the type of the thinking that gets someone beat real quick. Okay. Neato. Let's see. Okay. Save. That is a 23.
With disadvantage, it gets a 20.
Oh no, fair play. That is a 20.
I still hate you.
Those rolls were exceptionally high. I'll give you that much.
I don't think it takes any. It takes no damage. Yeah, it takes.
It was a 19 and a 17 for the record.
Nice.
I hate you.
Also, my apologies. I did not get the chance to move. Is it alright if I move my characters real quick? Or is it too late? I just realized I just did the action. I didn't read it, but it's perfectly fine. But yeah.
Sure, this is your once a session pass.
Okay. Thank you. My apologies. I was just like, wait a second. Oh, wait. I just did the action, so they would probably move right there and keep it safe. Yeah, like that. Okay, that's it. Discard mode.
Yes, I'm finished.
Alrighty.
Jethro.
So, still not understanding entirely what is going on. I've seen the two of them come to an altercation, and I don't know what's going on between the two of them. So I will start running, and with a leap around here, I can cover the remaining distance to about here. And I am going to let out a daunting roar and target both of them, Lorna and Aga, because I'm not sure who is doing what here. And they need to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, or become frightened of me until the end of their turn. End of my next turn.
Neither of them passes.
Okay. All right. So that was a bonus action, and then as an action, I am going to cast Detect Magic. Because I want to know what is going on with these people. And I know that Lorna is a spellcaster, and know that Aga is a spellcaster. So, I'll learn the School of Magic around both of them, and any faint auras or, I guess, visible creatures or objects that bear any magic, and I'll learn the School of Magic.
So Shay's mom has a hidden dagger, as in it's concealed, that is glowing with an evocation aura. And Aga is carrying a necklace that is enchanted, a ring that is enchanted, and there is what looks like a anklet that is enchanted.
Any specific
Amulet,
School of Magic?
Amulet, ring, anklet. The anklet is transmutation. The necklace would be abjuration, and the ring is enchantment.
All right. To my knowledge, had I seen Aga wearing anything like that before?
I definitely don't think you cast Detect Magic on her.
No.
So, casual observation, maybe. We're in like a gray area where it's kind of hard to say because we didn't really run any sort of like direct perception checks on the kind of stuff that she's wearing.
That's true.
I would say in your memory, which could be imperfect, no. Is that fair?
Sure.
Your memory is no.
Sure. So I come running up and I do my jump and sort of land down and let out a big roar, and I have my hand on my axe, and I am holding one hand up to Lorna, and I'm looking at Aga, and I'm just gonna say, "Start talking." That's just my turn.
Okay. So Aga moves past Yorna, which triggers an attack of opportunity, which she makes at disadvantage. And misses. Kashad, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Is this fear or charm effect?
No.
Betrayed me again. Oh, that's a 7 plus. You said wisdom save? So 2, so 9.
Mm-hmm. All right. Everyone else watches as Kashad and Aga vanish from sight.
Do I detect the magic that she just cast? What school?
I guess you is within your radius. So I guess you'd see a flash of aura when she's casting the spell. Give me 1 second.
Hmm.
Load. My goodness. D&D Beyond isn't loading for me at this second.
This episode is going
worries.
well so far.
I know, right? Conjuration.
Conjuration. I don't know if I know enough about spells to understand what that would be. Is there some kind of check that I would roll to be what Jethyn might think it might be? I, as Jethyn, am not sure if he would know or what all of those
really
things would be.
think so.
Yeah. No worries.
Do you have proficiency in Arcana?
Probably not.
That's what I was figuring, but I should make sure before I just...
Not at all.
Okay. So that's August's turn. Is there anything that you all want to do there in initiative order?
Run to the space that they disappeared and see if there's anyone actually there.
Do you have enough movement to get there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm well within my 45.
Move yourself over to where they were.
Okay, so that's 20.
All right, and you're taking an action to look for invisible people
Search
in
those around
square.
here.
Okay. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
If they were invisible, though, theoretically I would see the aura, right?
No, that is not how invisibility works. Although invisibility, I believe, is an enchantment spell, and that
Illusion.
is an illusion spell, and that Jethyn would probably know because that's a common enough spell.
Okay.
16 for perception.
You do not find anyone in the squares.
Shay.
Shay, Mare, you guys want to do anything?
Oh Lord. Yeah, Mare is going to run up to Lorna and has pulls out one of her daggers and actually like sort of presses it against her throat and says, "What did you do?"
Okay. Mare, roll me an athletics check.
Oh, okay. All right. It's an 11.
Not gonna be enough.
There.
You are pushed backwards 5 feet as she spins around and uses her leg, not kicking you in order to do damage, but creating separation of space. And you see she pulls her dagger out and goes, "Shay, tell your friends to behave before I kill her."
A question. Would Lorna can still see me, and she is frightened of me. Would she have disadvantage on that?
Yeah. Yeah. But I did not roll lower.
Okay.
The disadvantage was a natural 20, so.
Fair play.
At least there's that. Where is my brother? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. That creature attacked me.
Olga has been nothing but a friend to us.
Something was wrong. I'm not sure if that was Olga.
We don't have a lot of time for this. I don't understand what magics that is, but she did conjuration and they're gone. Or it.
It didn't seem right. Something was weird when they were talking. I'm not sure if Olga was brainwashed or if it was something else entirely, but that wasn't regular Olga.
We have to find them. Where could they go? Shay, do you know anything about this sort of magic?
Jay, are you there?
I don't know what sort of magic you're talking about. They just vanished. Like, I need more information than that.
It was conjuration and then they were gone. The school of magic was conjuration.
I'm okay. Can I make an Arcana check?
Sure.
You run through the dictionary of all conjuration spells in your head.
It's 21.
There at least is a significant narrowing criteria because there are only a certain number of spells that cause people to disappear. You do not know a form of teleport that acts in the manner that you observed, but the reaction certainly seems consistent with teleportation magic of some kind.
It's possibly they teleported. Like, that's as good as I got.
Shay's mom speaks up and she goes, well, obviously, now, if you could help me sort through my equipment and get it set up, I can try to find them. But you want to waste more time putting daggers into my back.
I'll help you, Mom.
With all due respect, ma'am, I don't know you. And some of our people just wanted to disappear and put some kind of handcuffs on you. So, less attitude, more work, please. She's still scared of me. I would like to roll intimidation.
You can try.
All right. Do I get advantage because she's still scared of me?
Is she still scared of you? I thought it was one round.
It lost until the end of my turn. Is my turn finished?
There's been a lot of talking.
Sure. Okay.
But you can still roll.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. So I think I should be there. All right. 14. Not my best move, but still 14.
She takes a step back. Her eyes move to Shay. Shayari, if your friends would like my compliance, teach them politeness. And then she turns to start to walk out of the cave.
Could you just please help? Please, everybody, can we just get along and find Master Kashad?
She stops.
I didn't do anything.
No, of course you didn't.
I'll let you know when this spell... She doesn't turn back around, but she says, I'll let you know when this spell's ready. And then keeps walking.
I assume you're working on it now.
There's no response.
All right, everyone, come on. Let's get together. I'm gonna call everyone over. Run through a quick check to make sure that no one is injured. All right, tensions are high. We're freaking out. Understandable. We have to use what we have in order to get Kashad and Olga back. Which means, please no antagonizing Ms. Strode.
If she does not get my brother back, I will deliver her to the king myself in chains.
I beg of you, please do not threaten my mother.
She's over there. She's not listening to me anyway.
I am standing here. I do not disrespect your guys' mother. Please do not disrespect mine.
I have a duty to the house. If disrespect is shown to my house, I'm not sure how I am supposed to show respect backwards.
I do not hold you responsible, Shay, for the actions of your mother.
No, but you put me in the middle of it.
He needs to come back.
I am aware. I'm going to go see if she needs any help. He's going to walk over to where his mom is.
Okay. You find her, and you can see that she has found a space in the cave wall that had some of those little pocket crystals embedded into it, and she seems to be casting magic to smooth out that crystalline surface into a like rectangular piece of crystal. You can see her kind of pulling the material and shifting it on the wall with some kind of spell.
Do you need any assistance?
Yes.
How can I
If
help?
you could speak to me of your family and remind me why you love them as I do my work, I would be very grateful. I really don't want to kill them, you know.
Well, I would just hope you wouldn't kill them because they're my bosses. And I don't want to go home.
Your boss put a dagger into my back for no reason. Shayari, I didn't do anything.
I look here. It's just tensions are high. Can we please just get along?
Perhaps. It is difficult to be ganged up against when you have done nothing.
I understand, Mom.
Do you?
Do you want my help or not?
Of course.
Just out of curiosity, may I cast Divine Sense around the area where they disappeared?
Yeah.
All right, I shall do that. I detect good and evil, and anything affected by the hell spell. Know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that's not behind total cover.
Have you cast this here before? I think you have, right?
August Place? No.
You have not? Okay.
No.
So unfortunately, you don't have a point of comparison.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it was like this before, and it's not the unhollow spell, but in the interest of making a marginally useful ability slightly more useful, it's not the unhallow spell, but you do detect like a general bit of echo of evilness in the area. Not like someone cast unhallow, but like something wicked this way comes recently in the area.
Miss Timmons,
Jethrin.
you had interacted a lot more with Aga than the rest of us, mostly due to your being able to communicate with her. Before, did you notice any, and I will mention the bracelet and the other things that I saw on her person beforehand?
I mean, we talked clothes. I gave her something that I created myself. She had quite a few number of potions. Do I remember her wearing any jewelry before?
I don't recall if you ever checked that. Did you?
I mean, I know that we ran a bunch of like perception checks and stuff when we very first met Aga, and then she and I specifically talked like clothing for a while because I gave her the clothes.
That is
So I'm
true.
not sure
You definitely
if-
did do that. I would say yeah, her clothes are rather plain. The necklace could have been obscured by like her tunic, potentially, but you definitely don't remember seeing any ring on her fingers, nor an anklet.
Was she wearing a ring? I don't remember her wearing one before.
I wanted to check my memory. I don't think I remembered anything like that, but there was some kind of ankle bracelet, something along those lines. But here, in this area, it feels left of a resonance of something evil. But
Well,
Evil or full of malice. It is possible to be full of malice and not evil. I should clarify. Since it's not the unhallow spell, which is directly evil, this is like a lot of malice, which could be evil or could be a neutral person or a good person who's been or feels severely wronged.
okay. There's a large feeling of strong malicious intent here.
well, I cannot believe that the Aga that we all know is that. But you're not getting that same reading off of Ms. Strode, correct?
Other than the general disregard for everyone else and a high valuation of her own abilities above everyone else? No. No, I'm not.
So, Jethrin, with respect, I think that the trauma of this event is coloring your perception of her. Some people are not
Perhaps.
necessarily pleasant. That does not make them evil.
That I well know. However, I'm not used to being talked down to from the moment I'm met.
Well, for the record, you did just pounce into the middle of her and roar in her face. People tend to
Indeed.
not react well to such situations.
Oh, you're
Also, I will say, Timmons, you super are familiar with that feeling. I think you know that, but just to be clear, based on the circles that you used to run in, you super are used to people acting like they're better than you from the get-go.
Yes, for sure, 1,000%, 100,000%. Yeah, and I think Timmons had an initial like fear that she was going to have to fight Kashad to protect Aga, and having seen what's going on, like she's kicked into this very, very calm, very logical, like what is our next step kind of thing, and putting off all of like the emotional outcome of whatever's going on. So Timmons is being very like, this is an ally, a tool that will help us to find the person that we're looking for. Don't ding up your tools.
Abrea's going to look around just by curious. There doesn't feel to be like any type of planar shift or anything in the area, right? Like, does it feel like there's like a different type of?
How would you know?
Just do some recent connections, and especially since they were able to take a transition originally, I think they have a bit of familiarity of at least going to one realm. So they're kind of curious to see if there's something, especially since they went to the mine, if there was something perhaps similar around by chance.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, perfect.
I'm telling you ahead of time, you are looking for a natural 20.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure I'm not getting that.
While they are doing that as well.
Clear expectations.
You kind of focus, and you can remember that such things do have like minor disturbances that you can kind of feel, but normally it occurs as a momentary blip, I guess you might call it, when the transfer is happening. So being that it happened so long ago and you were a distance from where it would have happened, it's really hard to try to sort it out.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'll only roll a 30 on the die, so no natural 20s, but it's okay.
But it is a possibility that you are aware of.
Abrea is going to head outside to where Shay is.
Okay.
Mare is going to follow Abrea. There is no way at this point that Mare is letting Abrea out of sight. Absolutely not. No, you took my older brother. You are not taking my younger brother. Not on my watch. Absolutely not.
And as a result, you can guess where Timmons is, because I'm not letting either of the two people from my house out of my sight.
There's
Jethrin, is it fair to say that you joined them in the hallway?
There is something that Jethrin wanted to start doing before all that happened, but he's not going to let people out of his sight, I imagine. So I would have started doing something, but if I see people are all moving, then I will move too.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mare wants to look around and see if there's anything weird or out of place or anything new, or sort of like investigate around. But if Abrea is leaving, Mare.
So maybe, because I think a bunch of us had a similar idea. So maybe as Abrea starts to go, I think Timmons would call up, young Master Abrea.
Yes?
Where are you going?
Oh, I just want to talk to Shay for a second. I'll be right back.
Would you mind waiting for just a moment? We can all go together. I don't like the idea of us getting separated right now.
Oh, okay. I can wait here.
Actually, I could use your help.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, wow. Me? Okay. And then he kind of like scrabbled forward with no name yet, large footsteps behind them. What can we do?
Well, you remember that you and I came and talked to Aga about, Shay and everything. And, well, I mean, I feel like other than me, you have the most experience in this room. I'd like to go around the room and look at all of the stuff that she's been making. And, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of items, but maybe we can look at them together.
Okay, I can help you out with it.
And check in on your flowers that you gave her.
That's true. And they'll look around and see if the gold flowers and such still around and such.
They're well preserved,
Okay.
Indeed.
And the weapons that we gave her, are they still here?
They're here.
Oh, I was hoping she traded it.
Okay.
Right.
So I guess I'll help Timmons investigate the area.
Young Mistress Mervina, would you care to join us?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay,
Jeffrey?
roll.
I would like to summon my lion. And specifically, I'm going to start sniffing around the area with the lion for the different saints in this place.
Okay. Roll me the lion's perception, and Timmons, go ahead and roll me that investigation with advantage. Are you also trying to do any sort of roll in the room there?
Yeah, I wanted to investigate as well.
Okay, roll me a separate investigation check.
That is an 18.
Okay.
Thank you for my advantage, because it was going to be a 0 with my -1 modifier, and now it's a 17.
Pretty good.
I always try and do investigation stuff, and my character cannot. Love it.
See, I'm very good at that. I'm very good at that. That's something I'm good at.
I tried to call friends over.
We got 19 for our saint chicks.
Pretty good. So scent-wise, there are 2 different giant scents in this room, as well as the expected flower, scent of metal, sense of blood associated with the cooking pot and area where she would you've seen her previously frying roasting animals, but everything seems kind of as you expect it to be. Investigation wise, that's high enough to know that like everything is quite literally as you would expect it to be. Like everything is in their proper place. It doesn't even look like things have been like searched or ransacked or moved. They're all in like, oh yeah, that's where Aga like put the weapons when we left in that chest there. Oh yeah, that's like where her clothes were hanging, and she put the new ones from Timmons up there. Like everything seems to be in order, which is a bit eerie when combined with her other actions.
The cauldron, the potion that Aga was working on, does it... I know that when I was here last, she was frustrated about it, that it wasn't working right. Does it look the same as it used to, or can I call...
You check, and you realize there was no potion in there. It was Le Rouge. She was doing something to, with this check, you can know this. She was doing something to lower Iorna's guard down for when she was coming over to try to put the handcuffs on her.
That was...
You don't know about the handcuffs. I don't think anyone's actually mentioned it directly out loud yet. But you know it was something that she was faking as like an action, which would probably be weird to you.
All right, help me run through this.
Look at this. We were set up.
What do you mean?
There's nothing in here. There's no reason for Aga to be standing here.
I mean, the room's only so big. She's got to stand somewhere. I don't see anything has changed.
So quick DM question. Did she give off a different vibe or a characteristic from when we saw her after we left the cave, or did she feel the same?
So Timmons got an insight check because she got close enough and has spent enough time with Aga. But Timmons believed Aga to be on the up and up, completely acting as normal.
So Brea is going to look towards the others and say, so I'll be honest, I feel like because we were in the cave for such a long time, maybe this person here wasn't really Olga, and they tricked us since we came in.
What?
Because, well, I could definitely tell that this doesn't seem like normal. Like when I was seeing her talking and such, that wasn't Olga's characteristics. So.
No, sorry, that was Uga.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it was.
I saw. Wait.
Okay, for the record, we walk in. Uga is sitting here. She steps forward, invites Miss Strode over, and then Kashad attacked Uga, and then Uga vanished them both. That's what I saw.
Well, so when I was seeing her walking and talking to Shay's mom, just to clarify, it was the characteristics that I saw that was different, right? Like, what was it, like her movements, or like was her speech pattern? What? Just to clarify, what was it that I saw with that 20? Like it was like a 25. I think that was it, right?
You saw she was casting a spell.
Okay.
And you noticed the handcuffs being formed, and you realized that it was handcuffs. So she was trying to trap Shay's mom unprovoked, is what you saw.
Okay. Oh. And just to clarify, the spell, when she was talking before, was she speaking in Giant, or what language was she speaking in?
Giant, yeah. She was casting the spell in Giant. But since you could understand Giant, you were able to recognize that it was a spell, like the essence of it was a spell being cast.
Gotcha. Look, I don't know. It could be her. It didn't really seem like her. But it has me nervous, because if it's not her, then where's Olga?
Well, this place, I get the smells that I expect, except 2 giant smells. I mean, it's not unreasonable to think Aga might have had company from other giants, but we were told by the Sphinx that the changelings can even mimic scent.
They've tracked us down here.
I don't know if
I
that's...
want to hug Abrea, just like wrap my arms around them.
Also, I will have to kindly, politely speak to our wizards. The items that Aga was wearing, her ring was giving off abjuration, if I'm remembering correctly, Zach. The ring was abjuration? Or was the necklace abjuration?
The ring was enchantment. The necklace was abjuration.
And then the bracelet was transmutation. Yeah. Transmutation, I mean, I'm not familiar with all these spells, but usually that's making one thing something else. So maybe that anklet could have turned whoever that was into Aga. I don't know.
So while grabbing Abrea's arm, they kind of look towards the side, and you see like this green portal appear as they cast a wild companion, and a hawk comes out, and they're going to telepathically tell the hawk to essentially look outside the area for as much of a distance as possible to see if there's another person that looks like Olga. Pretty much have them going on a scouting mission.
It says it will go find how many giants.
Okay.
The hawk is not intelligent enough to distinguish between giants.
Gotcha. It makes sense.
And you recognize it because it replies, "Yes, giants, be back," and starts to flap away.
Well, this is something. That's what they're thinking.
What I don't understand is why Mr. Kashad attacked Olga, or if he was attacking Ms. Strode. I'm really not sure.
Well, because Olga was casting a spell on Shay's mother, and that's where the handcuffs came in.
What handcuffs?
No, there was handcuffs. They could put handcuffs. Oh, wait, no, it was counterspell. We didn't see the handcuffs. Wait, did he?
No, you saw them starting to form, so you saw the spell happening, and then it got counterspelled.
Gotcha.
Like if you imagine someone shooting a fireball, you would see the fireball coming through the air, and then they would blast it, and it would, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But only you and Kashad actually saw them.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so Brea would be like, oh yeah, Olga was trying to create these handcuffs, but when she was creating these handcuffs, Kashad did something to stop the handcuffs, and the handcuffs disappeared, like, poof. And so that's when Olga went towards Kashad and made him disappear.
So you're saying that Olga was trying to restrain Miss Strode.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she was the problem.
Hey, I personally believe this is Olga. However, Jethrin says that he smells more scents, or however that works. Let's not make any rash decisions.
I mean, yeah, I haven't spent enough time around any of the giants just to particularly discern if that's Aga's smell or not, but definitely two different ones.
What if I trusted Aga? What if this person, Shay's mother, is so terrible that Aga tried to get Kashad out, keep him safe?
But Shay's mom is a mercenary, a school teacher. I'm still not entirely clear on what it is.
Exactly. It's suspicious.
Well, if that is the case, then we are in the best case scenario, right? Kashad is safe, Aga has succeeded, and we are able to move forward.
We still don't know where Kashad is, though.
That is true. So either Shay's mother is evil, and it is good that Kashad is gone, or Shay's mother is helping us, and we need to not destroy that possible only thread we have to Kashad.
She can have one chance. Otherwise, we need to find... What if we find the soldiers? How far could they have teleported? Don't you need a circle or something for that anyway?
Oh, you are asking the wrong person. Brea, do you need a circle or something?
Well, Brea, no. I mean, Brea has some new gifts in the arcane, but I'm not sure if they would understand that.
So here's what you've seen. You've seen your cousin make a portal to another dimension that he uses as a little hidey hole sometimes. So if he can do that, you don't know for a fact that he can teleport without a circle, but I think Aubrey would kind of be like, well, if he can open a doorway that goes somewhere that's not supposed to be there, he can probably do that too.
Brea was like, oh no, you don't need a circle. Ian is, he could do some stuff. They could take you to places that doesn't require a circle. So a circle is not needed.
I mean, Olga didn't seem to have the same kind of power that Ian wields.
At this point, Shay's mother returns. Shay, do you go with her?
Yes.
She walks over to you, Timmons, and she says, the spell is ready. I don't suppose that you have any possessions that maybe previously belonged to Lord Kashad.
How relevant to Mr. Kashad do the items need to be?
The more relevant, the better, but I could probably make it work.
I dig through my bag. What do I got?
Mistress Marina,
I believe
a sword of some such.
I have a sword that's from our house, but it's not from our house, and it's not his, but it's
I
closer
did
than
make it.
have.
Oh, what did Albrea have? Like some dragon chess pieces that Kashad normally play with?
I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, it would make sense because I'm pretty sure Albrea is one of the few individuals that would still try to play dragon chess because everyone else gets beat and they get tired of it.
Dragon Quest? What?
No, not dragon chess, sorry. Albrea is one of the few individuals that just thinks that they're too young to get it, but they'll get it one day. They haven't really.
I haven't reached my true potential yet.
Yeah, really, but. So
Well, you have a dragon chess set, like it.
Oh yeah, so go ahead. You can. I mean, if you also have some pieces, yeah.
Yeah. I have these and hold out a couple pieces. It's. I don't know. He gave them to me. He wanted me to practice with it.
Oh, I have some too.
Yes.
I'm sorry, young Mistress Mervina, could I borrow your sword for a bit?
Oh, of course, of course.
I take it and immediately turn and try and hand it to Shay's mom. He
Thank you.
doesn't wield it, but he did create it.
That seems good enough. Hopefully this will allow us to create an arcane connection to your Lord Kashad, and we can see where he has gone. Yes?
It would be a very bad thing if this sword were destroyed.
Oh, I have no intention of destroying it. That
Good.
seems counterproductive. She brings it back and starts to walk back towards the area where Shay and Shay's mom had been previously. You all intended to go there to talk to Shay. Do you follow along this time?
Yes.
I think so.
By this time, since they already got some information, Albrea's not going to present their questions.
Okay. Does anyone else want to talk to Shay or Shay's mom while she's setting up? You see her start to draw out basically concentric circles around the sword, and then she begins to draw inside of these circles something.
I talk to Shay. I would like to talk to Shay, please. Shay, if you wouldn't mind, I'm gonna try and pull him a little ways away from where everyone else is.
Yes, Miss Timmons, what is it?
Are you okay?
Perfectly fine.
I'm just waiting.
I'm sorry?
Timmons is just waiting.
Yep. Was that all, Miss Timmons?
If that is all that you wish to say. But I am here should you want to talk.
I appreciate that, but no, I do not need to talk.
What?
As you all watch, Shay's mom finishes casting her spell, and the crystalline screen that she has built on the wall shimmers with an image of what Kashad is up to, which we need to talk about and check in with Kashad to see how that is going when we return from the break.
I knew that was coming.
You had the face that was like cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Like
Kashad, you find yourself transported and ending up in what appears to be some kind of small dimension, but it hurts your eyes because each way you look, it seems like it goes on for forever in either direction. But it's plain. There are no stars. There's a soft sort of red light that seems to pass over everything so that you can at least kind of see in all the different directions. In front of you, you see this wide open expanse and Aga. And the two of you seem to be the only thing of note in this dimension.
And who are you?
Whoever I want to be. You see the face switches and contorts, and Aga shrinks, and the facial features start to change, and the figure turns into Maravina.
You must be one of the shapeshifters. For what purpose would you seek me out?
Well, observation has shown that perhaps you can be reasoned with.
Perhaps.
What is your intention when it comes to the knowledge that you now hold of the betrayers and what they have done?
You are oddly informed.
Thank you.
Where did you get your information?
Here and there.
I have no intentions per se, but to continue doing what I was doing in the first place. I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts using my points again.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Bro. Curious. So you do know of them. As you cast your spell, spending the points to do so without casting your magic, you sense no thoughts.
Whose side are you on?
With regards to which conflict?
One you are asking me about? I get the feeling you are not exactly interested in the politics of nations.
Only insofar as they might affect me or my people.
Who are your people?
Well, you seemed like you already knew. Shapeshifters. And you watch as the figure contorts and turns into Timmons.
Are you a representative for all shapeshifters?
Perhaps.
Is it you want for your people?
Insulation from those who would seek to kill us.
You are not making a good first impression.
First impression, you watch as the figure's face contorts and changes. And then, flowing from the back, is a long shock of red hair as the figure changes into a mage you met once upon a time ago in a camp not too far from Dergonia.
You all believe to be responsible for quite a few ills already.
I see. And what ills do you believe that I have caused you?
The attempted assassination of a prince.
You believe that was me?
Is possible. I'm sure you can understand why it would be hard to convince others that it wasn't you.
Surely.
I'm sure you'll understand that taking me was not exactly a point in your favor.
No. But I figured perhaps at least you might understand why it would be easier for you and I to have a chat away from everyone else.
There are other ways to go about getting a meeting.
A guaranteed private meeting?
There are ways to arrange such things.
How would you prefer I do it next time, should it become necessary?
Simply request the discussion. I'm sure there's no shortage of appearances you can take.
Fair enough.
But you have arranged for this moment. So what exactly are you requesting from me? No more platitudes or well wishes?
I see. You'd like to get to business. Fair enough. Do you know what your youngest sibling is up to?
And why would you know such a thing?
Well, because I make it a point to keep my eye on such things.
You enlighten me in that case.
Actually, I cannot.
And why not?
I am bound by a spell from explaining exactly what they are up to.
And what exactly are the restrictions of this magic?
I cannot speak of such things, or I will find myself unable to speak. I'm not sure how long that effect might last, or how difficult the effect might be to untangle, so I'm afraid can't risk it.
Perhaps. Is his mind still blank, Dungeon Master? So it appears you have very little, if anything, to offer me.
I'm sure there are many things that I could offer you. I'm afraid I still find myself not really knowing what you want.
Did you not have learned that before beginning this meeting?
I'm afraid I haven't been able to put my finger on it. Very, very
How many of your
aggravating.
people are there?
That I could answer for you. Perhaps I do have something you want after all.
More of a passing curiosity.
I see. Perhaps let it pass then.
Well, for someone who's wanted this meeting for all this effort, you seem to have very little to actually say.
It's important that you discover the thing I cannot talk about.
There are many ways for me to discover whatever it is that I want. I'm not sure why I need you.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not a very nice person.
Neither am I.
If you cannot stop your sibling, can you guess what I might have to do?
What exactly do you think you could do?
A great number of things.
For example,
Well, I could transform myself into your sibling here and now, cast a spell to bind our fates together,
and
that would certainly make it difficult for you to get rid of me.
assuming such a spell would work, my siblings have a tendency to gain things that they should not have.
Perhaps.
Or betting a lot on chance, aren't you?
Aren't we all?
I prefer to bet on things I know will work. It allows me to avoid situations like this.
I see. And what have you bet on that will allow you to get out of this place?
You could say there are some people with a vested interest in keeping me around, so to speak. So I'm not exactly concerned about being trapped here of all places.
I see. Will you put a stop to your sibling?
I could, perhaps, but I don't see why I should.
Not even to save them?
You have yet to convince me they are in any danger except from someone like you.
That should be convincing enough.
Or I could simply allow him to grow more powerful until they are a threat to all of your people.
Do you think I would let that happen?
Bold of you to assume you could prevent it. You aren't even able to trick me with your disguise. Do you think you could trick them?
Well, I don't know. I certainly think without a leader, they'd become a bit more disorganized.
You'd be willing to bet the lives of your people on a hope and a guess.
Perhaps.
You know, there are some who would believe that foolishness and insanity are very close to one another.
We are very difficult to find when we do not want to be found.
Is that because people have a hard time finding you, or because people haven't been searching for you?
Well, I suppose that would be difficult to say.
I suppose you have to hope that it is not the latter.
Kashad, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Do that. That's a 1 out of the natural 1. So a 3 total. Not dexterous.
Not dexterous.
Not very dexterous. It's not a thing I'm good at.
Yeah, that dice is wanted to make sure of that we see.
You take 20 psychic damage as the red light convalesces into a spear and stabs itself right through an artery in your arm.
Alright, that's half because I resist psychic damage. So it's a scratch.
So you take 10.
Just a flesh wound.
Under the impression that you can beat me in a battle of wills.
Yes. Would you like to try?
I'm gonna cast Hunger of Hadar, but I'm going to use it without my thingies, my sorcery points.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Is this charmed or frightened? Okay, I'm just gonna use it with a regular spell slot.
Nope.
God dang it, why did I ever get to use that? That's a 17 for a wisdom save. 17.
That is a pass. Well, you cast your spell. Any creature that starts turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage. And takes 2d6. Okay.
I have a
I
question.
assume you center it on the target. One sec. Kashad, I assume you center it on the changeling?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
that is correct.
What's up, Adrian?
It's just something I'm curious about. Like, is it technically opening an extra dimensional space using Arms of Hadar or Hunger of Hadar?
A good question. I'm gonna say no. Partially for convenience, and partially
I
because
just think that would have been hilarious.
it would be hilarious. I don't really have the time to sort through what opening a gateway means in this case, but I see where you're coming from.
Oh man! Oh wow! Wow! Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so okay. So on their turn, they take damage from the writhing horrors underneath them, and they disappear and reappear behind you. And I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Do that if they're blinded? Do that while being blind?
They aren't blind. They've teleported from inside of the tentacles to a region behind you.
Yeah, I'm just asking if they needed to be able to see the space that they were going.
Oh, no.
18.
18, you take half this time. Give me 1 second. So you take 23 halved to 11 bludgeoning damage.
It's halved again because
it's not psychic, it's bludgeoning damage this time. Instead of spearing into you, you see the red light coalesces into essentially a whip. Almost like a flail, basically.
I cast invisibility.
Okay. If you would, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that's 10.
You expended the slot, but are unable to cast the spell.
Very impressive. And I will create more spell slots while I'm talking.
The combatant pauses and skips their turn. Are you sure you want to keep doing this? And it passes back to you.
Depends. I have no issue fighting you. I can assure you I will be just fine. But if we do leave things the way they are, your people will be slaughtered.
You're so convinced you can make it out of here.
I'm convinced at least something of me will.
I see. So you're relying on
even
this.
If I didn't make it out of here, your people would still die. It wouldn't
You're
take me
relying on
very
the
long.
Spirit Vault to save you?
No. Absolutely not. Appears you have not learned everything there is to know about me.
Perhaps not. Though I must say, it has been a few 100 years since my people were hunted to the brink of extinction. I almost wonder if it might be fun.
Feel as if you would have considered that before going through all the trouble of coming to speak with me.
Yes, perhaps.
What is it that you will come to ask me to do exactly?
I told you, I can't say. You must end your youngest sibling's machinations.
Why do you care about such a thing? How does that help your people?
I can't say.
Very well. I'll get the answers myself. I'm just gonna try to force my way into his mind.
The most I can say, as you're doing this, they speak. The most I can say is that there are things I fear a lot more than your family. Oh, you're out. We can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello?
Here we go.
Yep, you're back.
Oh.
What were you saying?
Yeah. He has to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Just for good measure, I'm gonna use some sorcery points to make it be disadvantage.
Okay. That is a point. Dirty.
Really? With disadvantage?
Correct.
Oh, this is becoming irritating. It appears we have reached a bit of a stalemate.
Have we?
Yes. I have no interest in harming your people. And you seem to have failed in thinking your plan through.
Well, you will not be able to leave until you agree to end your youngest sibling's machinations. I've got
What
plenty
if
of time.
I don't agree to do this?
Well, I suppose. I'm not sure precisely how long you can live, but you're welcome to live out your days here. I'm not cruel.
Like you've just made this plan up on the spot.
You can antagonize me as much as you wish. It's not going to change your situation.
I have a question. I don't know if Kashan would know this or not, but what would happen if I destroy like this area?
By what means?
Act of destruction.
You don't know.
I'm gonna make a 3rd level spell slot. Oh, then I suppose we have 2 options here. You can tell me what I want to know, or we can find out what happens when extra-dimensional spaces explode.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What exactly have you discovered, Aubrey?
I literally can't say.
Yes, I'm aware that you cannot say it, so think it.
Feels like trying to get around the rules a bit, but we'll see what happens.
Am I able to read his mind? Or their mind, I guess. I don't know, you know.
Yes. First, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Well, I need to take resilient wisdom. 17.
Okay. So you'll take half. No, you won't. Sorry. You take 48 damage. Force
So
damage.
much.
Before you take the damage, you hear the thought, the Fae, and then you take 48 force damage in backlash.
That's more than my actual hit points, so
It's not double though, right?
yeah. It's surprisingly close to double my total hit points, but it is not double my total hit points.
Okay. You're unconscious. You wake up on the ground feeling pretty bad. You currently have 1 hit point.
Acceptable.
Yes, to the question in chat.
Do I know what magic would cause that to happen?
You all do not see the figure, which looks like the red mage right now, do anything. You just watch Kashad, like they just got hit with a sack of bricks, go flying backwards and fall over. Sorry, what was your question?
Do I know what magical effect would do that?
Maybe. Do you want to roll Arcana? You often complain I give you poor rolls, but that's the question you're asking.
Do I get exploded if I roll Arcana?
No.
10. That's a 10.
I don't know.
Of a 10.
Some dumb wizard crap, probably.
I'll cast Sending.
Okay. Who are you casting Sending to?
Question. Good question. I'll cast Sending to Malvina.
Okay.
Malvina, please instruct Aubria to rescind whatever agreement they have with the Fae at once.
Maravina, you cannot reply because you do not hear any of that.
What? Where are we that sending doesn't work? This is stupid.
Did not work between us.
All right, to be clear, when Kashad got hit, went down, came back up with 1 point, he was on the ground of this extra dimensional space.
Yeah.
How
really,
sure.
really, you might consider it more like floating prone in space. But yeah.
So this thing that we're watching this on,
Mm-hmm.
how detailed is it? Like, is it like HD or is it more like a fuzzy vacuum tube? Like, is there any way at all that I can see Kashad's mouth moving? Possibly attempt to lip read, maybe?
I mean, it's a polished crystalline surface, so I don't know, 4K.
That seems like it would be detailed enough to try to.
Do you read lips?
No.
Yeah, you're asking for a check.
Yeah.
Give me an int.
Intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
4K crystal vision, dog.
Right. Intelligence. Oh, okay. It's still only a 12. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was a saving throw. No, that's sorry. I lied. It's a 9. It's a 9. It's a 9. Straight intelligence to 9.
I mean, it's definitely moving. If you were trained at reading lips, you could probably do it. But since you're kind of on the fly trying to get it, it's hard to tell.
No, valid.
I'd say you see something about Abrea and your own name. Those are recognizable words to you, but the actual content is not recognizable to you.
Absolutely. I look over at Abrea and like, you don't know what, do you know what he's talking about? Something about, he wants us to do something. How do we, I look over at Shay and his mother. Where are they? What's going on?
I'm not sure.
He's being hurt. We have to get there. How do we get there?
So Brea is like, okay, give me a second. And they're going to head to like a tree, like that's close by, and then pull out their little book.
Jethro does not leave his side. Because someone was kidnapped.
And they'll just write in their book, so my brother is being kidnapped by, looks like a person that could change. Wait, we saw all of that, right? Wait, how much did we see? Just to clarify, how far back did we see?
Wait, so I'm sorry, ask your question again?
So regarding the events that took place in the dimension, when the scrying took place, how much of the scene did we see?
Probably since the start of their actual like duel. You saw like the duel kind of going, and then they were talking for a little while, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kashad just went flying backwards.
But we don't see the other person, right? Because the sensor's focused on Kashad.
The sensor is focused on Kashad. You probably see them. You probably have seen them like flashing in and out of the 10-foot sensor. So like you know that they're there. You've seen like the flash of red hair. You've seen the garb a bit.
And we definitely recognize it's the same person that we saw next to when the prince was attacked, right? It has the same visage.
Yeah, you see enough of them to recognize that, I would say. Okay. That is a notable character for you.
Okay. All right. So in that case, based upon that and the fact that we knew that they're not what we call it taking place, but shapeshifters, is the logical conclusion that they could be able to deduce that this individual is a shapeshifter, right? Based upon the information provided.
If that is your conclusion, I have no qualms with it.
Okay. So in that case, Obrea is gonna write into the book and say, "So, could you help my brother? He got teleported to a place by a shapeshifter. We saw him try this shapeshifter try to hurt our cousin originally, and now he took our brother to this place. Could you get him out, or could you help me get there so I could get him out or help him out?"
Oh, Brea, when did you start keeping a journal? And why are you writing to it as if it's alive?
Oh, I have a good friend.
You watch the ink as you finish writing your sentence. It, for lack of a better term, explodes. The ink basically dissolves and particleizes and drifts off the page. You gather that your message was not received. Something is clearly preventing it from doing so.
Oh, that's not good.
What?
The fact that you have a book that's a book and it just exploded ink into your face. I don't believe it's alive. I don't know if you can call the book a friend. Although, on lonely nights, it's sometimes nice to read a book. It can be comforting like a friend.
It's a friend.
It's a very long story, Jethrin, and one I'm not sure we have time to get into. If they can't help, then what are we going to do?
Well, the best bet I think will be talk to our cousin Ian, because Ian could be able to teleport. So I'm pretty sure he could be able to teleport us there to get him out.
How close to the cave are you?
Oh, wherever tree was next to the cave, I guess they didn't go to like a far away tree. They just went to a tree to kind of right down.
At the kind of edge of your natural hearing perception, you hear Shay's mom calling out, "I can teleport."
Oh, perfect. Can you get us there, please?
Mom, why didn't you lead with that?
Well, I can teleport once.
Once is enough. Once is better than nothing.
There will still be the matter of returning. I'm not sure I can write a teleportation circle to get us back out on that strange red stuff.
All right. Then how do you suggest we get our brother back?
let me think for a second. Kashad, what's going on with you?
Why?
Why?
Why have you brought us to this location?
To get your assurance that
Why
stop.
this place specifically?
It's a very convenient place for me. Home turf.
And what are you seeking to gain from my assistance?
Well, what I will gain is at least a stay or pause, preferably an end, on the thing that I find to be most frightening.
And is it this king or whatever?
I can't say.
Babe, you really should have thought this through better. Is there anything that you can say?
Well, I can't write it and I can't say it. And the effects when you read it from my mind rather scare me.
Indeed, it appears you've gotten yourself in quite the situation. I could attempt to get rid of that situation, but I can't guarantee you'd survive, or any of us would survive.
I see.
I will look into what you've requested of me.
That's a very vague and non-committal answer. You're asking me to take you on faith?
Does what you are asking me to do, is it not?
I don't think so. I believe I was asking you to take me at my word that my threats are legitimate, but I also think I've proved that.
You've proved that something is protecting me from reading your thoughts about something. You have not proven that it is of any threat to me. For all I know, you've simply offended someone, which, seeing your manner of conducting a business, would not surprise me.
I see.
Are we done here?
I don't know. I still feel a little bit awkward about the low level of confidence in your committal.
Then do something to increase my trust in you.
There are 12 of us.
And where are you?
Everywhere.
Why?
Everywhere is the best place to hide.
Well, this world would be a much more effective place to hide.
It is. It is an effective place to hide.
What exactly are your people doing?
Just trying to live, Lord Kashad. Just trying to live.
Very well. I will see what can be done. And assuming that your people are not causing trouble, I will not do any harm to them.
Very well. And you'll speak with your sibling? The youngest one?
Speak with them.
Fine. They hold out their hand and just like that go from balled fist to open palm, and you find yourself shunted out of this pocket dimension. And without taking any damage, you fall and collapse in the spot which you left.
Before
On the ground.
all
on the
that type
material
of
plane.
stuff was happening, while they were still talking, as we walked back up to them, I wanted to do something.
Okay.
Okay. As we're walking back up there to rejoin everyone, Jethrin casts Zone of Truth. So everyone around there within 15 feet can make a charisma saving throw of DC 15. Oh, DC 14.
I rolled a natural 20.
Okay. 5.
Shay's mother does not pass.
All right. Okay. So that's funny that Shay and the mom do not pass, but the people that actually wanted stuff to also fail passed. That is very bothersome. But as we're walking up, Jethrin is asking, there's a lot that's going on right now, and I apologize for all of this in advance, but I need to know exactly who these friends are in your book, Obrea. And Miss Strode, aside from anger issues earlier, it would be nice to know exactly why that person wanted to attack you.
Well, I have a guess.
And what is your guess?
With all due respect, sir, if someone was aware of what I can do and what you can do, I would try to disable me first as well. They cast some sort of a handcuffs spell. I think it would have worked similarly to silence and stopped me from casting magic.
That makes a lot of sense.
I've only seen one other person utilize the spell now that I think about it. We can discuss that later.
That's fair. I'm just trying to make sure that we have all the information of what we need if we're going to teleport to Master Kashad. Now, again, I do apologize because I believe I'm aware that they fail. Who are these friends in the book, Abrea? I can't keep you safe if I don't know.
Oh, they're just friends. Remember the people that we met during the cave? That's them.
As we watch on the screen as he gets shunted out of that reality.
The same one that Shay's brother go to. We're friends because they like kids.
Abrea,
Mm-hmm.
my siblings are missing because of that person. And you could have simply asked where they're at.
Wait, what? They're busy because of what?
grown immortal beings that like children only.
That person sent them out on a quest. You could have simply asked where they were.
Well, yeah, if you would have told me this person was on a quest to go missing, I could just ask them where they are. I didn't know that they took them away.
Kashad has disappeared from the screen. Where are they now?
Arrived safely, Dungeon Master.
You arrived safely. You are alone.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I'm still very, very hurt. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's like a giant bruise on your chest, right where your heart would be.
Ooh. So
That's not ominous phrasing at all.
that is
Yeah.
like,
No. Do we?
You
do we
heartless
know?
man.
do we see the wound?
Or do we know like where Kashad is? Like we know we saw him disappear, but like do we hear anything or see anything that would lead us to his location?
Wait, I thought.
Right now, you guys are at the screen, and Kashad reappeared where he left, and he hasn't said anything.
Oh,
so-
gotcha. Okay, I thought he appeared in front of us. Okay.
I
No,
am
no,
ready.
I will stand and walk very painfully out of the cave. Please, out of Olga's cave.
You do so.
I think you hit Timmons about a third of the way out because Timmons runs. The second I get near you, I put my hand on your shoulder and you get immediately 6 points from healing hand.
Yeah, Mare would be running super close behind and gives Kashad a big tearful hug and casts Cure Wounds.
Oh. Somebody else got gifts, I see.
That's a 5, so 5 more points. 3 plus 2, but yeah, 5. You're. What happened? You.
I will explain in a moment. Where's everyone else?
Well, Shay and Abrea are having a moment, and I do need to get back. But you're back. We thought you were gone. We didn't know where you were. And Shay's mother was actually a help, which she didn't have to. Not after the impulsive way I behaved, but you're back, and that's really what's important.
I am back, and we will discuss that another time. You'll need to be able to operate without me. And I would have preferred not to have it done under these circumstances, but everything is an opportunity to learn. Broken a few ribs. Give me
Take
to
another
everyone
15
else's.
points of healing.
27. And what exactly happened while I was gone? I'm not entirely sure how long I was away.
Shay's mother appears at your shoulder, Mare. Not to interrupt, but you seemed like this was quite important to you. She's holding the sword back out to you.
Thank you. Yes. I'm sorry for my behavior earlier. It was unbecoming.
No smugness or anything like that, but she just kind of like looks you over for a minute. Not like a full minute. She looks you over for a second, nods, and says, "Very well."
I'm told you are very helpful to my family and my house. For that, you have my gratitude.
Of course.
So apologize. It appears that Olga was not home.
Couldn't quite tell what was going on, but it seemed like whoever took you there, whatever they wanted, did. I'm just glad you're okay, and we'll figure the rest out. But
A hawk returns.
Oh, well, Brea and Shay, I believe, are still outside because Brea was trying to figure.
I'm there too. Yeah.
Trying to figure out exactly. Yeah. We see that.
you're out.
Sorry, Mary, you can keep talking. I'm just noting this is the moment that the hawk returns.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
We need to go back to Abrea, but I put the sword back around my waist. Abrea has this book. I'll let them explain, but it's.
I
It's just got very complicated.
I am aware. Come, there's much to discuss.
Abrea, the hawk, begins to speak to you, and it says, 12 giants hugging.
12 giants hugging?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. 12 giants? Maybe they're having a gathering? Okay, thank you so much. And you, of course, have the hawk next to them to kind of like gently scratch against their beak. And then they'll look towards Shay and be like, okay, so first of all, relax. I didn't do anything, so I don't know why you're mad at me for. I mean, if your siblings are missing, I could just ask them where they are, and then he could tell me.
Okay, opens his mouth to speak, closes it, and just turns and walks away.
Oh.
Abrea.
I didn't even do anything. Why is he mad at me for?
I just think it's been a very difficult time. Shay's family is gone again, it seems, from a quest, and you've been speaking to the Fae and kept it from us for some reason.
Oh, well, I mean, because I'll be honest, the last time we talked to the Fae, you all did not like them at all. So I was like, oh, well, the Fae seems really nice to me and they like kids. I figure it's just a kids thing.
Oh, Brea, that does... Okay. It's sometimes, often, very concerning when people take undue attention in children that aren't theirs. Especially these beings that are immortal. It's kind of off-putting to adults. I'll just put it out there. And they're offering you magic. You know, it's or at least they were offering the brother, because I don't know about the magic stuff yet, so I'll just, and they were offering magic to Shay's brother again, which is really strange, to adults.
That's why I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to stress you all because I figured you all don't like them. So I was like, well, it's kind of like when you have what is it, like step parents, and when they come by, they kind of get like mad at one another when they're in the same room because they're just like, oh, we have a bad relationship, but we'll tolerate you because we have the same kid. I kind of feel like it's like that, so that's why I figure it'd be safer this way.
Well, you know, storybooks often have a lot of history in them, and let's just say that you know, fairy tales, books that are written to read to kids, often give warnings about those kinds of beings, you know, people disappearing into a party for a couple of hours and suddenly they're back and it's 500 years later. All their family is already gone and dead for centuries. There are stories about, you know, the old witch of the woods who the children said hello to, and when she asked for their name, when they asked for when she asked for their names, she stole their names from them and then forced them to work in her castle until they could find their names again and then disappear back. These are all fairy tales. And then we meet actual fae beings. So it's understandable that it's not that people don't trust your judgment, Obrea. You have very good judgment. You really do. It's just that we don't know these people, and we know you, and we want you to be safe. And also, we'd be very sad if you disappeared and came back 500 years later and we were all dead. Or at least you'd be very sad, because we would have already been dead for a really long time.
Obrea.
Mm-hmm.
The book lights up wherever you have it stored.
Okay, they'll pull it out just to take a look inside and see what it says.
3 words. Are you okay?
They'll write back in the book, yes, I'm okay. See, and they'll hold the book up. It's like, see, they're nice. They're asking if I'm okay or not.
As Aubrey is holding it up, you see written on it is, someone disturbed the connection. I could feel it, but I couldn't reach you.
The connection, I could feel. Okay.
Oh, okay. They asked if I was okay, but they'll write that back in the book. Like, I didn't know someone could do that. Oh, it's okay now. I think, I'm not sure. My brother was missing. Got teleported away by a shapeshifter. I don't. That is the same shapeshifter that tried to poison my cousin. So I was going to see if I could ask if you could bring them back, but they're now no longer in the place. I'm not sure where they went though.
Oh, Brad, could you ask your friends about Shay's brother and sister, please?
Oh, yeah.
We need to know exactly where they are so that Shay's... And I should apologize to Shay's mom, too. God, Shay's never going to let me hear the end of this. But anyway, either way, we should find out where Shay's family is.
And they'll ask that as well. Like, also, my friend, well, kind of friend, he's kind of mad at me. I'm not sure if he's friends anymore. I don't know. Adults be weird sometimes. But they adults be weird. I was wondering if you could tell me where their siblings are, because they're really worried about them.
So the first thing is, that was a lot of words. ... Then it says, I'm sorry I couldn't help you earlier. And then it writes again and it says, they're in Justicar doing a favor for me.
Oh, they're close by. Okay. How close are we to Justicar?
We're very close. We're in Justicar. We're in the arms of Justicar.
Abrea's going to cast. What was? I'm pretty sure Abrea can recognize like an item that either Shia or their sister was wearing, like maybe like a necklace or something like that. Was anyone wearing like a particular item that was noticeable?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
They're not really like a jewelry family.
Oh, okay. So not like the book. They also had a book, right?
Yeah, the book.
Okay.
Shia also had a wand.
Okay. So they'll cast a locate object to see if they can detect where the book is.
That's only 1,000 feet, isn't it?
Oh, wait, how far does it go?
Yeah, 1,000 feet.
Oh, okay, never mind then. We're not that close, I know.
But you never know if they're in Justicar, maybe they're in the mountains.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess to be on the safe side, they'll cast it just to see if they're in a close facility.
It is not within 1,000 feet of you.
Okay. So he says, oh, okay, that should work. I will let them know so they'll know. Wait, what? They're safe though, right? Are they okay? Should we help them?
The response is, they are safe. I did not send them alone. And then there is another line that says, whoever blocked our connection, you can't trust them.
It's probably the shapeshifter, because he was the one that kind of poisoned our cousin. So yeah, it's not surprising.
Would Abra mind if Jethrin is sort of reading over his shoulder, or would okay?
The response is like the bolded, underlined, do, period, not, period, trust, period, shapeshifters, period.
I have my hand on Abra's shoulder, and I'm just giving him a little squeeze, and I'll say, Abra, one thing. Please ask them if they can arrange some way for me to talk to them.
See,
you're the closest thing I have to a son right now, or a child right now, Obrea. So I have to make sure that you are safe. And if I can speak to them face to face, I trust you, but I need to know some of these people a bit more, if that's okay.
You see them kind of like blush when you make that statement, and they look down and they look back up, and it's like, okay, but I do have to ask this, because I'll be honest, I do remember when we had our last conversation with Ian, you kind of said a few things, and then you got booted from the room for like a solid week.
I remember.
Yeah. So if I can schedule a meeting, because I know you have reservations about them, so can you please just kind of go in with like an open mind, so therefore it's not like the two-step parents that comes by again like that I was talking about the example.
I hold out a big old lion pinky.
Yay! They'll pinky promise back. We're like, okay, all right, I will ask and see if we can. Oh, I know how we can do it. We just go back to the mine. Well, later when we can.
We have so much to do.
We have so much to do. But yeah, we could just tell it go there, and then I'll just let them know, like, hey, Kim, my great friend who looks at me like a son, come talk to you. And then I'm pretty sure you'd be fine with it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm imagining while all this is happening, the rest of Europe is getting to walk up, right?
Oh, man.
Hello.
Everyone is gathered except Shay and his mom are both not there.
So you're better. Okay, you're better now. Oh, that's good. Okay. I saw you disappear from the area, but I didn't know where you went. Are you okay?
Oh, man.
Yes.
Have you been making deals with the Fae?
Yes.
Why?
They're my friends. They're great people.
Are you still communicating with them?
Yes. They're my friends.
How?
Well, multiple ways. I can keep it because you have a connection now, so I can kind of feel it in my head, my hair, my book. Like, dude, we're connected now. We're great friends.
Are you able to end this connection?
I don't know. Why are you asking that?
End the connection, Alvera.
Wait, why? Yeah, they can't just make a statement like that with all the reasons behind it. They're really good friends, and they've been nothing but nice to me the entire time.
That is true. Why would they mind you ending the connection for a moment?
Oh wait, you mean like temporary?
Break the connection first.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. How to break it? I could try. Wait, you mean there's like pause? I could.
End it completely.
Wait, completely like never come back or completely?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh
no.
no.
For now.
Oh no.
But why?
It is dangerous.
It's dangerous. What? Why is it dangerous? Wait, what did the shapeshifter say to you? He said, do not trust shapeshifters.
They have told me that the entity you are communicating with is dangerous.
This is the same one that hurt our cousin.
I wonder about that, but they seem to be more afraid of whatever your new friends are going to do than whatever it is that I was going to do to them.
Well,
Is that not a good thing?
I was about to say, I'm sorry.
It is not.
I would trust this person over the person that tried to kill our cousin any day of the week. It doesn't make any sense. Why trust someone who clearly tried to poison them?
I do not trust them, but I do know that my attempt to understand exactly what they saw resulted in some sort of backlash that was more than enough to kill me.
And maybe it's good that we have allies they fear. Whoever
It seems that they are our allies.
They are. We're great friends. And then not only that, but Shay and stuff. Shay's brother and stuff is with them. They're currently in the mission in Justicar.
What is this mission?
Oh, I don't know. I did ask. They're currently in Justicar right now. With friends. We can go meet them if you want.
Young Master Obrea,
Yes?
why did you not tell us about your friends?
Oh, so I was telling Jethro earlier, I could tell when we first... Oh, wait. Oh, so you weren't there during the...
I was not there.
Okay. That's gonna be hard to... Okay, so when we had the meeting with the Feywild in the cave, I was telling Jethro it felt like a lot of the adults just didn't like the Fae. But when we as kids meet the Fae, they seem to have a really good relationship with us. So I kind of figure it's just a thing of like adults don't like Fae and Fae don't like adults. So it's kind of like when you have two step parents who have the same, two parents who have the same kid, but they don't like each other because of something happened with the relationship, but they have to tolerate one another because they have the same kid. I kind of felt that was the situation here. So I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any trouble.
Did they, at any point, tell you to keep this a secret?
Well, no, not my relationship, no.
So you were free to tell us at any point that you had a book that you could use to communicate with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you chose not to. You chose to keep it a secret from everybody.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to cause any drama. Like, see, this like everyone seems to be so stressed. I didn't want any of this to happen.
Am I able to read Aubrey's mind?
Also, I want to roll an insight check, please.
Well, yeah. Sure, go ahead. Abrea, yeah, I mean, you can go ahead. Everything Abrea is saying is exactly what he believes, but yeah.
I will use detect thoughts. I will detect those thoughts.
Okay. So yeah, inside their thoughts are just like, you just see hashtag adults be weird. That's pretty much what that's what you mostly get, because they're just like, I didn't see. This is what I was trying to stop to begin with. There's always like so much drama between adults. Like, why can't everyone just get along? That's pretty much their thoughts.
Aubrey, focus your thoughts on your friends.
My friends? Oh, okay. Well, which one? What do you want me to think about? What do you want me to say?
Any of them.
Okay. And they'll just imagine the friend that they met outside. Let me get my notes.
That was a woman, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I have her name.
Did she give a name? Not a real one. I
Not a
remember
real
she
one.
gave a name, but it wasn't a real name.
Yeah. But yeah, he will imagine her as I pull up the. Why is it taking resyncing issues?
That was a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
Yeah, it was a bit. I just realized this back in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a question about world lore, really quick. Ian was convinced that the Feywild doesn't exist. So, are there fairy tales about the Fey?
Oh.
Or is this like a
super no? It just wasn't worth interrupting.
Yeah, for sure.
Adrian, because you can kind of compare it to like, oh, you know, folk tales or the people's tales or whatever. But yeah, no, they super don't involve actual, you know, fairies.
Oh, Miss Drana, I think I have the name as. Miss Drana? Yeah.
Am I able to read their thoughts still?
That style of story would still exist, though. They just wouldn't refer to them as like fairies.
For sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Mistrana is the Fey Mage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, sorry, you did promise to keep it a secret, right?
No, not that though. They promised something else to keep it a secret, but not the relationship. What they promised to keep a secret was, well, OOC wise, you all know, are aware. Of course, creating. Well, yeah, I think you all are aware of it. Creating the portal. But
yeah, they asked the anchor to be secret. They didn't say, "Don't tell anyone that you're talking to me."
Exactly, and no one.
Oh,
yeah, and so no one knows. Of course, they're planning on doing an anchor or anything like that. But
I'm sorry. Did you say that their thoughts were still open to me?
But yeah.
DM, am I still able to read them?
Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no magical prevention. Interesting. This person was willing to gamble the complete and utter death of all of his people on the hope that I would prevent Aubria from continuing to make this agreement with your friends.
What?
And they did not strike me as someone particularly clever.
Well, he did get caught for trying to poison the prince, so I mean, maybe he's not that smart.
Why would you trust anything they have to say? Sure, they may not be clever, but the only things that they've done have kidnapped you, pretended to be one of our friends. They've tried to poison members of our family. These, even if they aren't that smart, or even if they are desperate, why should we trust them? Why should we help them?
Speaking of family, would all of you mind if I go find Shay quickly? Miss
No.
Timmons, may I leave O'Brien in your care?
Of course.
Thank you. I will go and try find Shay and Shay's mother.
Could you tell them where they are? So therefore
Indeed.
they know. Thank you.
Do not trust this person. However, I do not trust these creatures that Aubria has made a deal with either. Anyone making such agreement with a child is hardly someone worthy of being trusted.
Why? I can do things. I'm a great individual. Like what makes me not special? Why would it be nice if someone wants me to do something?
Do you trust the person that attempted to kidnap me?
Well, of course not. They try to poison our
Why would I trust someone that would make a secret deal with you and not request that you reveal such details to me?
Well, no, they didn't tell me not to tell you about our relationship.
Did they tell you to tell me?
Well, no, I just was neutral. I get it. I just kept it a secret because I didn't want this to happen. Cause I saw you all when you were talking to the Fae before in the cave. It was not. It was like almost like a
Is
war was
there
about to break
anything
out.
else you are keeping from me?
Well, yeah.
And it is.
Well, that way I made a promise not to tell anyone. But
So, is Aubrey thinking about it at the moment?
they're trying not to. they're definitely trying not to. But that was probably in the deep thoughts. But yeah, they're definitely trying not to. If you want to go deeper,
I'm reading the thoughts.
You hear a song that squires often sing in Abrea's surface thoughts as they try not to think about the other thing.
Yeah.
And off we march to go to battle with the...
Well, yeah, I mean, like that one. You know.
You're trying to hide your thoughts from me, Aubrey.
Well, yeah, I made a promise for that one. I had to keep my promises. But it's nothing mean or anything. Nothing mean or nasty or anything like that. If it was something mean or nasty or evil, there's no, you know what I mean, there's no way I would do something like that.
How are you communicating with these people?
There are multiple ways. I go with the ears, with the book. Sometimes we have dreams. I talk. Oh, I have a book in my site. They'll post to the tome. You want to talk to him? We can talk together.
Give me the book.
Oh, what are you gonna do with the book?
Just to test something.
You're not gonna hurt it, right? Or burn it or anything like that?
Don't tend to.
Oh, I am your sibling. I know your words really well, and that is relatively vague. You have to promise. You have to pinky promise you would not.
Maya, do you believe that I'd have to wait for you to give me the book before I could destroy it if I wanted to?
But I will hope you wouldn't destroy it because you know how much it means to me. So that's why I'm trying to get you to understand
why are you showing these friends of yours more trust than you are showing me?
Because I know you don't like them, but they would like you if you like them. If everyone liked each other, I would have no problems. Could you like them,
My
please?
responsibility to keep you all safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I understand, but can you please just promise not to hurt it? If you pinky promise, I promise I'll give it to you.
I will cause no harm to the book.
Yeah, see, that's all I was asking. And they'll go over and just hand you the book.
While Kashad is looking at the book, can I see if I can get Abrea a little ways away? Not far, like a few steps. I'm not trying to get Abrea like out of earshot of Kashad or something, but I am trying to let Kashad hand a book while I talk Abrea.
Oh, sure. Well, Abrea has a reservation. Hi. This is just... Go ahead.
Well, how are you feeling?
Stressed. This was what I was trying to avoid, because I kind of had a feeling that you know, when I saw the relationship and when things were happening in the cave, and then the way that everyone was acting to these individuals just because of who they are. It was I knew that this would happen, so I was just trying to make sure no one feels stressed out. But now this happens, and I just want everyone to I wish we could all just eat at a dinner table and to just talk about good times. That's all I want.
Do you understand why Mr. Kashad and the others are concerned?
Because he doesn't trust them.
It is not so much about the trust for them. What is the strongest animal you know? Something wild and fierce and powerful.
They point like no name yet.
True, but No Name Yet's very smart, right? No Name Yet. Hello, No Name Yet. You can sort of talk. Maybe something that can't talk.
Oh. You mean can't talk to everyone else, or just can't talk?
Yes.
Oh.
Timmons, you hear in your mind, why? My ability to speak makes me obviously superior to all other animals.
I try to think back because I don't want to say it out loud. Yes, it does, and very difficult to use for my analogy.
I was going to. So Abrea will be like, for all of my studies, I think the strongest animal that doesn't speak that I think we came across was maybe the dire lion?
Oh, the dire lion.
Mm-hmm.
So the dire lion's really powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could maybe make friends with the dire lion if you spoke with it. But
Timmons, I am confused about this analogy. Aubrey and I are obviously friends, so why does the analogy not work for me?
I'm looking for someone who is not a friend. I think back, and like I just stop mid-sentence. So, like, if you took Mare and put Mare in a room with a dire lion, do you think it would work out well?
Oh. Well,
Probably not.
It'd be rough.
I mean,
it's like 50-50 because you didn't see, but Mare was able to get a griffin to be really nice to her. Griffins are very territorial. So
that's true.
So she probably could. Now Shay would be screwed.
Okay, let's go with
Timmons,
Shay.
I do not believe your analogy is working.
No, I'm definitely seeing downsides to the analogy I've chosen. Okay. New analogy. We're at the warg pen, we throw Shay in the middle. It doesn't go well, right? Because Shay doesn't know what to do. You are at an age that you don't yet know some of the things that the older people know about how people work.
Timmons, if you throw Shay in the warg pen, I think I will be forced to act to stop you.
I rather wish you'd been forced to act to stop Oprea earlier. The thing is, you wouldn't know it was a dangerous situation if it is.
You hear the voice again in your head, Timmons, but this time it says, I'm confused.
Fair.
Okay, all that is between their mental telepathic, so I have no idea they're actually telling you anything. So yeah, go ahead.
You are amazing. You're very good at nature. You're very powerful. You're good with animals. You're good with spells. But there are some things that you learn over time. And it's something you haven't experienced yet. You'll continue to grow and to develop and to get stronger and smarter and more powerful as you go. But without experience, you don't know what you don't know.
Miss Timmons, I hate to interject, but most people do not experience the time dilations of a sphinx. I do believe that Abrea is quite the unique individual in this respect.
Thank you. The guy kind of like jitter back and forth side to side.
You still can't hear them because No Name Yet is speaking directly to Timmons.
Gotcha. I thought that was a selection. My bad. Okay, my apologies.
Thank you for the observation, No Name Yet.
Timmons, this is very entertaining.
Thank you, No Name Yet. Here's the thing, Abrea. When people are very much older than you, like the Fae, they have a lot of experience in how to handle people. They are good at saying things that may not be true, or saying things that are technically true and still get you to do what they want. And they can make you feel very special and very important. And then you do things that, if you were a little bit older and had more experience, you would realize wasn't necessarily a good thing. Like keeping secrets from everyone in this family.
Well, I don't. That's on me. Then, if that's a mistake, that wasn't them. They didn't tell me to keep our relationship a secret. I just didn't want this to happen. But then, so I won't. But it feels weird because it feels like they're the only people that will see that I'm special. I could do something. The other folks would take advantage of me. I don't. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Otherwise, that I'm not really anything then. That doesn't make sense.
Well, do you think that you're special?
But they think I'm special.
Do you?
But now I do.
When you look at everything you can do and all that you know, your friends, your connections, your powers, your knowledge, those things are special whether anyone says so or not. I think you're very special. But there are people who will use your being special as a way to control you. And because you are special, you need that many more protections against people who would want to use that. It may be that your new friends are who they say they are. They are genuine, they want to help you, and they are future allies, maybe. That could be a possibility. However, I am begging you, Brea. This is the kind of conversation that you can't have on your own. You're just not experienced enough with people. You have to have people that you trust in our family that can help you navigate these kinds of things. I am sorry that you do not feel that you can confide in me. But I hope you can choose someone worthy of that trust to help you.
If they nod, they kind of look towards the side and just say,
I get it, kind of. I get it. It's just I don't want to think that everyone's bad like that. I mean, I'll definitely keep a closer eye, but I just don't want to have that prejudgment of going at them and just thinking that, oh, they're really bad people, or they're trying to manipulate me in some way. That just seems really wrong to assume on someone just because of what they are.
And there's a difference between caution and judgment. You can be aware of possible problems and take your time to evaluate what's going on. But I will say this, Obria. Your friends are my friends. Your enemies are my enemies. And if someone hurts you, I will burn this world to the ground to make sure that their remains are lost among the ash. If these people ever hurt you, I will learn how to get where they are.
That's the first time I heard you say something like that.
I feel like I did not do a good job of explaining some of these things in the past, but I am trying to get better.
Okay.
Will you please? If it is me, I would be honored. But will you please figure out who you can trust?
Well, Jester already said he wanted to talk to him. If you all want to talk to him, I'm perfectly fine with them. I made Jester Pinky promise to not to kind of like, because I'll be honest, we had a conversation with our cousin Ian, and he said something about it, our auntie, and Ian got really mad and kicked him out of the room for like a week. So he promised not to get like really like kind of like, you know, in that mode, and keep like an open mind. So I have no problem introducing you all to them as long as everyone just keeps an open mind. That's what I would love the most. So therefore we can all just gather together, have a great time.
Young Master Brea, when have you ever heard me be impolite?
That's true. That's true. It was more, it was especially Kasha. Kasha did not like them at all. Kasha was just, I thought a fireball was coming in 2.5 seconds. I wasn't sure. So, I just want to try to keep the peace. That's all. Keep the peace. But I think, yeah, I would definitely like to bring you to introduce you as well. It'd be great. We all could be together and be friends. And then hopefully we can get Shay to stop being so upset. I mean, Shay is, I don't know, something going on with Shay.
He's had a bad few days.
Few days? What was the other bad days?
Well, he did just travel all the way to... I mean, I feel like that was a pretty substantial ordeal.
That's true. He also did get really hurt during the cave, so... Yeah. Maybe we need to give, like, Shay a vacation.
And then his siblings were missing. And then his mother was upset. And then his mother's threatened and tried.
That's true. Yeah, I'll be honest. Shay is like very unique. I don't know how to crack that egg. You have to do. Can you do that? Cause I tried, but it's impossible. It's like trying to battle a creature that we haven't seen yet, like a sphinx. It's hard to crack through that.
Well, no.
Oh, I
can't.
You can't do it. Oh, wait, I knew it. Okay, it's okay. We both tried our best. Well, maybe we'll find some way. Maybe if the whole entire family, if we all come together, we can try to get the shape. Cause, I'll be honest, I'd rather deal with the shapeshifter. It's rough.
I mean, part of it is you have to respect where Shay is. You can't just force him to be okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right, good talk.
Yeah,
now,
they'll give you
what
a
are
huge
you
hug.
going to tell me? Big hug. I'm going to pick out some random feature around us and be like, so now what are you going to tell me about this? And I'm going to point at, I don't know, some tree I don't know, or some animal, or the hawk or something, and just let Brea get out some of that nature stuff.
All right, I guess we'll continue that scene of just talking about like the trees and such. Oh, you muted.
Shay, after you leave, it's really not that long when your mother appears and watches you fire a fireball up into the sky in anger, and then lightly taps you on the shoulder. Shayari.
Yes, Mom.
Would you like to talk? Or is it time to just exist?
I would just like to barely exist right now.
She'll put her arm around your shoulder if you let her.
He just kind of like puts his head on top of hers.
And you just sit like that until, I think, was it Jethrin was coming to speak? Yeah. How do you approach?
Just walking back up to the cave.
They're a bit of a distance outside of the cave. So, I mean, you can find them, but you're gonna have to leave the cave to go walk over to them.
Sure.
Okay. You do so, and you see, as described, Shay's mom kind of is like leaning up and has her arm around Shay's shoulder, and Shay's got his head leaning down against his mom's.
I'll be a respectable distance and give like a polite little cough just to indicate that I'm there, but I won't disturb them until an acknowledgement is given. Because they're clearly having a moment.
Shay's mom turns around. Do you turn around as well, Shay, or are you just still kind of staring off?
He's still staring off. He is in. I want my brain to just be blank for 2 seconds.
Yes, Sir Jethrin. What can I do for you?
Well, firstly, I want to say thank you for being of assistance to our family. And I let anger jump ahead of me earlier. I apologize for that. Secondly, I hope I can be of some assistance to your family. Your other children are in Jestikar.
That's odd. How do you know that?
Well, it appears that these Fey beings have also made a deal with Master Obrea.
I see.
And they are apparently not alone. So they have escorts. But they are in Jestikar.
I see. Well, I suppose that I know where I'm going next. Now you just need to decide where your family's going next. That seems like a great place to end tonight's episode.
When I saw the slowdown of the speech, I was just like, oh, we're about to get it. We're about to get it. Oh, here is the ending of the episode. What an episode. Wow. Wow, I did not see that coming. First of all, thank you, Zach, and again, bringing this wonderful story together. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you to this incredible cast. You all killed it this episode. Every scene in here was just tip top. It was fantastic. And of course, thank you to our viewers, because without you, we wouldn't be here. So we'll be back for next week for our next episode of Reclamation. But until then, farewell for now.